And that Mr. McMahon thing kind of jumped right off the Montreal Screw Job between Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels.
Without question, yep.
When you were there for the Montreal Screw Job, did you know what? I'm assuming you did not know it was going to happen.
There are still people to this day that believe I'm lying when I tell you this.
I mean, you didn't know Mankind was going to fall off the cage. You probably didn't know.
I didn't have a clue that, and I was in the inner circle, and you can say, well, how can you be on the inner circle and not know? Because I wasn't told. There are only a handful of guys, and I'm not even sure to this day who all knew. I mean, books have been written about it, and the wrestling documentaries and all this stuff, Wrestling with Shadows or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
But I can tell you conclusively that Lawler and I neither knew.
Right.
The last we heard before going out, and I just looked at it as another night at work. I mean, I wanted to do a good job, and it's a hot crowd in Montreal, and we knew Bret was probably going to be leaving and all that. But that happens in the business all the time. But the issue was, the last we heard, it was going to be a disqualification, and I wasn't even sure how if they had made it was going to be a disqualification on. Shawn was going to be disqualified because of outside interference, or if Bret was going to get carried away and didn't break the referee's count, and then he got disqualified because he wanted to kill Shawn.
Sure.
But in any event, it's going to be a disqualification, and Bret was going to lead the champion.
If you had known going in, would it have changed anything?
Well, I'd have done my job, but I might not have been as. I think it probably would. I don't think it would have been a good thing for me to know.
Because you wouldn't have been enthused about the match.
No, I wouldn't have been. I wasn't totally. I wasn't happy that we did what we did.
Did you know when you did it that you had changed wrestling forever?
No.
You didn't. Even right after it happened, you didn't realize this is it. That was the catalyst.
No, not. I'd like to tell you. Oh yeah, I had this great instinct, and I had it all figured out, Sam. I got it. Yeah, I had that, Sam. About 30 seconds later,
It's time to start producing barbecue sauce because we're about to make a lot of money.
A lot of money, buddy. We're in good shape. Buy that big house, honey, you've been looking at.
Yeah.
I just didn't. It was so startling. And you got to remember, we're surrounded by hostile people.
And we're talking, of course, about when Bret Hart lost to Shawn Michaels, and it's complicated for a non-wrestling fan to know, but if you're a non-wrestling fan, you probably tuned out of this interview a long time ago.
Right.
Bret lost to Shawn, but Bret wasn't told that he was going to lose to Shawn. So that's
right, exactly.
And it's in Canada, it's in Bret's hometown.
Yeah, and
like you said, it's a hostile crowd.
Yeah, and the hostile crowd, and the other add insult to injury is that the referee, Earl Hebner, when Shawn got Bret in the sharpshooter, which is Bret's finishing maneuver and his submission maneuver, the referee rang the bell as if Bret had submitted.
Right.
And that was how, because Lawler and I, what the hell happened?
Which lets you know immediately, all right, we know the referee's in on it.
Yeah.
Obviously, Vince knows what's happening.
Vince was out there at that time.
Right. And so you kind of figured, now are you...
Well, but here's the deal. Vince's character was already kind of getting...
Yeah.
Was kind of evolving. So for Vince the heel, Mr. McMahon... Right. Not Vince, but Mr. McMahon the heel, to be out there wasn't a big surprise.
And it was kind of the first time we were entering into storyline that he was the owner.
Yeah.
I mean, before then on TV, as far as anyone was concerned, he was just the voice.
Exactly. So him being out there and being an antagonist didn't make me think, uh-oh, what's going on here?
Yeah.
Because it was just, he was another villain that was at ringside. But then when the bell rang, I thought actually at the beginning that the bell was inadvertently. Sometimes it happens.
Sure.
And it was an inadvertent mistake, and they're going to restart the match, but no, it didn't happen.
And did you go backstage going, "This is bullshit," or did you? I'm going to put my head down and just.
Oh, I got. First of all, they got us out of there because they were throwing stuff, and Bret came over and was destroyed the monitors as he was irate.
Yeah.
He had a lot of family there. They were actually shooting that movie, because they had got clearance to shoot the movie. So that guy that was in that documentary did he get a lucky break? Right. You couldn't have created better material.
It's amazing. That's why people thought it was an inside thing because there's a movie being filmed.
So, but the movie was already being done. I don't know where Lawler went. And because we didn't dress together on that occasion. I know that I went. The security guys said Vince said to go to his office and not leave, because Vince didn't want me to get punched out or beaten up by the Harts, because I was head of talent relations and I was in on it,
right,
in their estimation, and didn't want me to have the same fate of being, KO'd that he got.
Yeah. Because Vince McMahon got punched in the face for real by Bret Hart.
Yeah, got a concussion. So I stayed in that room, his office, under lock and key, wondering what
like a rat in a cage.
What has happened?
Yeah.
What has happened? So finally, because I got to know, I knew that I have to deal with all the talents.
And who are all like, how are we supposed to trust anyone?
Exactly.
If you're just flipping the script after we're in the ring already.
Talents are hot, and they're. I know some of them. I remember we're talking about Mick Foley. Mick Foley went home for a day.
Yeah.
Out of protest. A lot of guys. I was on the phone with guys. All that. We didn't have cell phones. We didn't have little smartphones and stuff. But they all knew where we were staying.
So you're calling hotel rooms.
They're calling hotel rooms, and they're calling me. I was on the phone all night with different guys. And then we had and the irony is that's Survivor Series, and we got TV. We got 2 more days of television to do.
The next 2 days.
Yeah. Got 2 more days with these guys who don't have a clue what's going on. And, so Vince addressed the crowd, the guys, the locker room on Monday, and, hey, any of you guys that don't understand what I did and why I did it, and you want to leave, then we will help you.
Wow.
You can.
And that's, everybody will threaten to quit until the boss says, whoever wants to quit, go ahead.
Yeah.
All right. We're fine then. Well,
yeah, okay.
We'll stick around.
But I think he appreciated their loyalty to Bret, their respect for Bret, as we all did. And I felt badly about it, because there was a long time there, Sam, that people just wouldn't believe that, JR was in on that deal. And Lawler and I talked about it. Lawler said, did you know? And I said, no. He said, no, come on, tell me. You can do it. I didn't know, Jerry. I didn't know.